Hi there, my name is Charles Jackson. I'll be your instructor this term for online solar system astronomy for IVT Community College. You might be in a Terre Haute section, or you might be in a Region 13 Sellersburg section, or you might be from somewhere else in the state or across the nation taking this course. So this recording will apply to multiple sections as we launch into a new term during 2019 fall. So when you open up the course, the first thing that you'll see is your home page, and conveniently what you have on the home page is your different modules. So you'll notice Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, and you're in an accelerated course, being that it's 8 weeks. We have a combined effort in each module, and so you'll have multiple chapters in there, and it's fairly intuitive, and hopefully most of you have dealt with the online learning and interacted with that space in your background. But as you know, hopefully, as you open up these modules, what you'll be introduced to is some information that is kind of like a task list of things to do. So you can click on these modules, or you can enter into different things, and it tells you what to do, and your calendar, well, your kind of your Google-like calendar, your Canvas calendar, or your Ivy Learn calendar will show you what is due and when. So that's a very useful tool that most students will use throughout the term. Whenever we need to communicate, which will be frequently throughout the term, the most common way of communication will be through an announcement. And this will be like walking into a brick and mortar classroom and seeing an announcement written on a board, except it'll be done electronically. So this is where you will see an announcement if there's a major change in the course, which will be very unlikely. If there's just a recap of a week, which will be very likely, that you'll see a recap of the week at the beginning of the term, and then as the term continues on, there'll be less announcements that are out there. But what I would encourage all of you to look at very closely is the syllabus. As you know, the syllabus is kind of our main reference point for information. It gives you contact information for me, and the best way to contact me is to use your inbox, and the Ivy Learn environment will give you that information, and I will receive that information more quickly than using the telephone number that's posted to the syllabus. You're more than welcome to use that and text to it. However, my connectivity will be intermittent compared to online connectivity. So I would encourage all of you to use the inbox feature, and that will be your quickest return for communication. One of the questions that are asked of the course or about the course is, do I need to take an exam anywhere besides the space that I choose? And the answer is yes. You'll need to take 2 exams in this course that are proctored. So what are proctored exams? Proctored exams are basically exams where you take it at a testing center. That may or may not mean that you go to Ivy Tech. This is your choice. So please listen carefully. As you get to the point of the course where you have this bold red midterm and final exam, those are proctored events. Everything else in the course is taken in your choice of space. You need to choose some restricted spaces to take these exams in. Now there's flexibility in those spaces. You can either go to your most local Ivy Tech campus and schedule through a self-scheduling portal where and when you take your exam. And that's no charge to you as an Ivy Tech student. So that is your no-cost fee. Now that will take some time because you'll need to travel to that space. You'll need to be well planned because they do get very busy, and they'll have computers set up and wonderful assistants there and technicians that will help guide you through that process. So that's the most traditional way. Now another more flexible way that's emerging is called ProctorU. You may or may not have used this in the past, but there's information in the syllabus about ProctorU. More students are using ProctorU each term, and it's becoming quite popular to the point where about 30 to 40% of my classes are using ProctorU. So whenever you go to what is a proctored exam in the syllabus, you're going to have the Testing Center website, and that's the one that costs no additional fee. And that will have your self-scheduling portal, and you schedule when and what Ivy Tech campus is wonderfully flexible, very traditional. However, if you want something where you can take the exam at your space, okay, this could be your dining room table, wherever it is, ProctorU will allow you that flexibility. Now there is has been a fee structure. Okay, so to avoid any on-demand scheduling fees, pay attention to that language, and that's where you'll have that. And you'll need to be a little bit advanced planned as far as getting ProctorU scheduled. So ProctorU is something that is fairly intuitive. You can have that set up pretty quick. This is what the sign-in page looks like. Those folks are absolutely fantastic to work with. They've been tremendously helpful to past students, even in their first run, and that's a second option for you. So the short answer to the question about do I have to take an exam someplace else other than MySpace, and the correct answer is yes. The quick answer is yes. However, there's flexibility, and it's becoming more flexible in the online learning environment. So it's not quite as intrusive as some other options that are out there across the nation. So I think you'll find that it's a wonderful time to be studying astronomy. There are so many things going on. Our focus is going to be staying home base. We will be just focusing on the solar system, and there is an array of information there that we're going to scratch the surface of. So fabulously interesting. And speaking of interesting, there'll be things that we'll be able to see in the night sky, no telescopes involved, and I will communicate with you when those are available through discussions. And discussions are an area where you'll be interacting with certain topics, current events. But if you go to your night sky objects to view, whenever you have something interesting, like at the time of this recording, we have a fantastic Perseids meteor shower. Unfortunately, the moon and the weather in our local region across most of Indiana is not cooperating, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But we do have Saturn and we have Jupiter above the horizon, and they look fantastic on dark nights, and I'll remind you of those things as we get to that point. So I hope you enjoy the course and you learn a lot, and you get to become more informed about the fantastic environment of the solar system. Thank you.